Hello, my name is Nicholas Delgado, and this is the second check-in from my video game development class. And today I will go over all of my movement-related code. So, off the rip, here we have ToeJam, able to move, uh, diagonal speed. Obviously, there's no speed advantage. So let's start getting to the keybinds that I have. There's four in total. So it goes Z, X, C, and V. So for our first keybind, we have Z, which pauses the entire game. And as you can see, everything on screen has completely stopped moving. I don't know if you can hear, but I'm trying to move my character and I cannot do that. And I also made it so that if I try to click any of my other keybinds, those don't work. And I have done it by this one right here. So if the game is paused, then every single control is disabled. And that goes for any of the other toggles that I have, such as presence and map. So only their respective keys work. Like for map, nothing works except the the pause press, the like pausing the actual game. That's always like globally, what do you call it? Globally enabled. And for the presence, you can confirm your selection and use a presence. But as you see, you can't do that in maps. So let's unpause the game. And then our next keybind is the sneaking. At the bottom on my little command output here, you can see sneak activated. And I have also given ToeJam all the necessary animations required for it in every single direction, up, down, left, right. And going diagonally, I made the vector normalized so you will not get a speed advantage for doing that. So this is the formula that I use for sneaking, that if he is sneaking, it halves his movement speed. So this is normal speed, and this is sneaking speed. Very slow and sluggish. So for the next keybind, we have the presence menu. And if I click C, oh, let me scroll down here. Oh, wow. My bad. Wow. There we go. We go to my presence menu. Obviously, there's no UI for it, but we'll work on that in the coming weeks. But within the presence menu, I cannot open the map or I can't sneak, and instead it gives me at the bottom you see a selection confirmed and a present used for when we actually have all the presents like coded in and such. But that's pretty much, and if I click the presence button again, boom, presence menu closed and the game resumes. Map, same thing. Boom, map opens, the entire game pauses, all everything. And if I re-click it, boom. So that's pretty much it for the actual gameplay itself. So let's get into the coding aspect. So within my input manager, we'll do top to bottom. Here we have initialized all of our stuff. And then, as mentioned before, the pause button is always enabled. Within map opens, some of the keybinds are disabled. Paused, everything is disabled, and then this is normal gameplay. Just sneak, and then both of the toggles. So if we move on to our game state, this is where all like the pausing the game and like the toggle texts are actually made. So as you see for the pause button, we have, it tells you whether it's paused, unpaused. Same for all the menus. So that very quick, simple. And then ToeJam, not much added in here besides making new variables for all the sneak animations. And then I label them here as that. Updated this so it checks if he's sneaking, and if he's not, just return his normal animations for the default play. And I mentioned before the formula that I used for sneaking. And that's pretty much it for here. Nothing at the top, just the speed. And then finally, game one. Nothing at the top here. It's mostly all just within our update. So you can see here, it checks if the input button is pressed, and if it is, toggle pause. Same goes for the presence and then the map. But it checks for the presence here. If I click the confirm button, which both of these two are mapped to the same one, so they'll give me both responses at the same time. But I originally had it, or I had a problem where I didn't have this one. So whenever I opened the presence menu, it actually just soft locked me out, and I wasn't able to re-click the button to unpause or unclose the presence menu. So I had to add that in. Same goes for the map pressed. And then if game state, returns. Here's my if statements for toggle presence. And then here's my toggle for map. And then finally here for my sneak. But that pretty much concludes my check-in, so I hope you enjoyed.